You know, I've often heard the quote, "Don't bite the hand that feeds you." And I don't know, just making this video, I can't stop thinking about that quote. EA is essentially the hand. EA has given us all of these good things. So why are we all hating on them when they provide us with FIFA? Don't bite the hand that feeds you, right? Wrong. Imagine this. You go to a KFC drive-thru and they provide you 12 wicked wings. You're willing to pay, you just want the food. Take my money. So you go through the drive-thru, you get the 12 packet of wicked wings and they're fresh, they're crispy, they're not frozen. Don't worry, this video is not endorsed by KFC, but everything's perfect, it's all good. Now imagine going back the next day, but this time the food's frozen, but this time they're missing a wicked wing. This time the waiter's a bit of an arrogant prick. Here you go, take your food, there's 11 in there, she'll be right, pay what you owed, and we'll give you whatever we feel like giving you. And you're just sitting there like, what is this? This ain't no dictatorship. What are you talking about? That's how EA treats pro clubs. Right there, like wicked wings. It used to be so good. It used to be something that was invested so heavily into and cared about. Now what are they doing? They make decisions that make the game mode worse. Not by accident. It's not inadvertent. They have a year to plan, don't they? You think there's actually a pro clubs development team? They have no decision in what goes into pro clubs. Pro clubs just there because it's too popular to be cancelled. It's too popular to be getting rid of. So instead they just degraded. And this is where I want to pick up for this video. Drop-in systems. Remember back in the day how you could actually see who you're going to verse? And if there wasn't enough numbers, you could just easily back out from the lobby. Remember when you could choose your preferred position, whether it was striker or cam or winger? And if you didn't get the position you wanted, you could choose your second best position. It's smart, right? Or you could search at the same time with your mates, guaranteed 99% of the time you would find them, and you jump in the same team. Pretty easy. Remember when you had a choice in who you wanted to verse? Remember when there was 6 people in the lobby so you could even it out, 3v3? Remember when you could talk to people in the pre-match lobby? There was rivalry, there was beef. Remember when you actually wanted to verse your friends instead of always having to play with them? Remember when you had a choice in what team you want to play with? Do you remember the time, as Michael Jackson said, because this time was only 3 months ago? Do you guys remember that FIFA 22 Pro Clubs deep dive? EA released it prior to FIFA 22 and they came out with all of these brand new features that they said they were going to introduce. And one of the ones that they advertised the most was drop-ins with friends, the brand new revamped drop-ins lobby system. And they even had me hyped. They had me excited about what they're going to do with drop-ins. Because don't get me wrong, drop-ins was never amazing, but it was definitely there, it was good. But when you saw things like faster, streamlined games to find opponents much more effectively, when you saw that you could invite your friends, when you saw that you could fill teammates, when you saw this brand new lobby system, it got me hyped, it got me excited. But you know the problem with all of these things, now that we're 3 months into the game? The main problem is that EA was attracting around 12 to 13,000 people playing drop-ins every night. Sure, it was never at those consistent heights, but it was always in and around them. It was always attracting high numbers like that. Now you go on pro clubs and you're seeing, if lucky, 3,000 people playing. If lucky, 2,000 people playing. Why is that? No coincidence. Everyone's picked up on this terrible drop-in system. No one wants to search for drop-ins. And because no one wants to search, because no one wants to play them, you can't find opponents. So much for this faster, effective way to find people when there's no one to find. And why is that? Because it's such a bad system that they've introduced. And they've done it on purpose. That's the worst thing. They knew that people would stop playing. They knew that people wouldn't like it, but they did it anyway to get people into Ultimate Team. So nowadays, what exactly are the main problems? What are we left with? Number one, you can't see who you're going to verse. There's 3,000 people online. Definitely low numbers, but there's people. So you could be a squad of 4 and you could be coming up against one-man teams all the time. And that's been my case. It's always been a 4v1 lately, and you've got no choice in it. You can't balance it out because you can't see the lobby. So not only are games harder to find because there's no one who wants to play this wank, the games that you do find 90% of the time are just boring. They're bland. You don't want to be versing a full AI team with one guy. But guess what? Like the Wicked Wing example, you got no say. Number two, you can barely even verse your friends anymore. Half of the time in drop-ins, people just wanted to verse each other. You know, a striker jumping goalkeeper for the other team and you test him out. You can't even do that anymore. You can't verse each other. You can't compete and boost each other's egos. It's gone. Again, you got less choice. Number 3, they said that you select your playstyle prior to playing the match. They said that your playstyle will determine your preferred position. Why do I want EA to determine my preferred position? If my first choice is to go striker and my second choice is cam, why do I want EA telling me, okay, you have to go left wing now, or you have to go right wing? So now if you don't get your striker position, you got no say anymore. And if you're not captain, if you don't know the captain, you can't change your position. So you're stuck playing someplace you don't want to play, and then you find yourself out of position, and then it just gets boring, it gets generic. Number 4 is the fact that this matchmaking system is terrible. If you want to play with your mates, as opposed to just search it at the same time and finding each other, now you have to invite everyone, now everyone has to ready up single-handedly, and where it once took about 4 to 5 seconds just to find a lobby of 6 or 7 people, it now takes about a minute just to find one guy. How does that make sense? How is that better? How is that streamlined? How is that more effective? So now half the time, you're just waiting in lobby. It's Lobby Simulator 22. And if you don't find anyone, which is the case most of the time, you have to ready up separately every single time again. So even after just 1 or 2 searches trying to find someone, knowing that you're probably just going to find one guy, it just becomes so tedious. You know, let's just take a deep breath. Let's just step back. Let's breathe in with me. Why? Why was this decision carried out? Why would they think this was a good idea? They knew it was not a good idea, but they still went through with it. It's foot. It's always a foot. It's where the money is. It's just where EA wants all the players at. And ProClubs was getting too popular. They had to destroy it. They had to annihilate it. Send the Terminator back in time and destroy that bitch. EA has destroyed drop-ins. I suppose it's just a matter of time until they do the same thing with your actual club. They're going to bring in a terrible lobby system. They're going to make matchmaking so much harder. They're going to get rid of friendlies. They'll probably introduce the same features that they put in Volta. You know, that extra pace, extra shooting bullcrap. My wise words to the ProClubs community is just enjoy it while you can. Because even the things that aren't great are going to be turned worse. And I don't say that ignorantly or anything. I just look at what they've done with other features on ProClubs, and it just makes me believe that it's just inevitable. I don't want to be the one just to criticize EA constantly. They've given me, they've given us, ProClubs at the end of the day, such a great game mode. They've invested a lot of good things into it. They've done a lot of good with it. But the road that it's been taken down these past couple of years, the lack of time they put into it, and the most frustrating thing is the potential that it has, it is nowhere near utilized. And that's a dang shame. Surely I can't be the only one who thinks this. Let me know what you think. Is there anything good in the drop-in system that you like for this year? Do you fully agree with me? Do you sort of disagree? Or is it just all crap? But yeah, I'm not happy. All right, I'm gonna go get some Wicked Wings. There better be 12 in there. If there's 11, EA, I'm coming for your fucking ass.